Mr. Hakan Turgut, my captain for today's flight. Hi, sir.
How you doing?
Okay, my name is Hakan Turgut, alongside Kerem Koray and Captain Shuriam, who's on his way. He should be here shortly. We'll be up front in the cockpit today. Just to give a little bit of information about the flight, our flight time to Tokyo is 10 hours and 30 minutes. Our flight altitude will be starting off from 29,000 feet and we'll be climbing up to as further as 35,000 feet as the flight progresses on. The general flying conditions is smooth, however just about over Baku we could run into some pockets of turbulence. It's not much, it's only about a max shear 3, but you know, I'm sure your service will be finished by that stage, so please make sure that you know, you're secure. And also going into Narita, unfortunately it's going to be a very, very windy day. The gust limit's right up on the limit, so it's going to be a very bumpy ride going into Narita. So just before we start our descent, please make sure everything's secure before we start the descent and you girls are actually seated for the descent, because we do get some bad weather coming up the Pacific in Japan. So it looks like it's one of those days. Other than that, your cabin chief, I'm sure she's covered all the relevant topics, but I just want to add a few things to this flight. Number one, our cockpit entry procedures, it's normal company procedures. Please call us, and when we see you guys from the cameras, we'll open the doors. Other than that, the cabin temperature, please make sure the cabin temperature remains at 23 degrees. It doesn't get any higher than that. It becomes uncomfortable for the passengers. Sometimes it gets out of hand. That's all I have to say. We'll wait for the aircraft to land. Once it's ready, we'll head towards the airport, and if you guys can just finish up with your briefing, we'll meet you at the front of the door and we'll take it from there. Anybody any questions?
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Good?
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy it.
We'll see you on the gate. Thank you. Flight chief, what are you going to cook today for us?
What is the wish?
Well, I like kebab.
Good afternoon, Just Planes. My name is Captain Hakan Turgut, alongside my colleague Captain Shuriyama and our first officer Kerem Koray. We'll be in the cockpit of the 777-300ER non-stop flight from Istanbul to Tokyo, and this is a dispatch briefing office. This is where we get all the flight plans and maps and check out our weather, see everything is suitable with the flight. And our first officer Kerem will just run through the procedures, how we actually go about getting the flight plans.
Okay, our standard procedure, when we come in for a flight, we just log into this webpage, where it shows us all the weather information, the operational flight plan, the weather, the NOTAMs, the sick charts and everything. We already printed those out, and we just, if we want to get into one of the, for example, operational flight plan, we just click on it, and here we are. It shows us the flight plan for today, Turkish 50 from Istanbul to Narita, and then it shows us all the information we need to, which Captain Turgut will go over with you on the with the actual paper. Other than that, we have also the weather information, which it shows us. It starts with the Istanbul airport's, our actual initial airport's weather. Then it's our takeoff alternate of Istanbul Sabiha Gökçen, which is around 70 kilometers on the other side of Istanbul. And then our destination airport, Tokyo Narita, and then our two alternates for today's flight, which is Tokyo Haneda and Osaka Kansai Airport, and all the en route airports. Other than that, today's flight is an ETOPS flight, which means we will be going without an alternate airport for more than 60 minutes of flight time. For that, we have a plotting chart here. The ETOPS area of operation for today's flight, actually our route is the route you can follow on the with the blue line here, all the way to Tokyo. The ETOPS alternate airports for today, the first one is Astana. It's Uniform Alpha Charlie Charlie. This line is the 435 nautical mile line, which is pretty much a 60-minute flying distance. And once we're beyond that, we're in the ETOP zone. And somewhere between here, we have the ETP point, which is the equitime point. So for that, we have to have the plotting chart with us. And our second ETOPS alternate for today is Lanzhou. It's Zulu Lima Lima Lima. And so that's our ETOPS chart, and you can pretty much see the whole planned route on this Jepson chart. Captain Turgut has the weather charts handy. Captain?
Just running through the flight plans. We have our flight planning here from Istanbul to Narita. Our flight time is going to be approximately 10 hours and 32 minutes. And in accordance with our taxi time, there's a bit of rain and it's southerly wind today, so it's going to be about 75 minutes for the taxi. And our takeoff weight will be around about 325 tons. En route, the flying conditions is not too bad, but we do have a little bit of wind shear there, about max shear 3, which shouldn't affect us too much. But coming into Narita, it's going to be a very gusty day. The winds are around about, for the period that we're landing over here, we have about 210-35, gusting at 50, which is quite windy. So coming in, it could be a little bit bumpy. When we look at our plotting charts, we can see that there's a little bit of clear turbulence and there's a jet stream there, so that's where the max shear 3 is. The rest of the flight, it's fairly smooth all the way in, and just over here, over Seoul, there's another little jet stream we're crossing, but it shouldn't affect us too much. We've also checked our NOTAMs. Our NOTAMs was covered from Istanbul into Narita. I'll just run through this briefly for you. We've already had a look at it. The only thing that's really affecting is the runway closures in Narita, but it doesn't really affect us for the period that we'll be landing in Narita. Also, we'll be looking at our ETOPS alternates today.
Today is the 30th. It's right here we're going to. It's 200 at 10 knots, 10 kilometers, broken 2,000, broken 10,000, 4 degrees. The weather seems okay. There's a tempo, which is our period pretty much, 2,000, mist, scattered 500, which is fair.
And the next one is Lanzhou alternate.
And the time?
The time period for Lanzhou we have between 21:07 and 00:03.
Okay, for that, well, current weather is 140 at 4 knots. It's Cav okay, 6 degrees, good weather. And on the forecast is 0606 knots, 10 kilometers. Good weather in Lanzhou.
We've got 2 alternates, Osaka and Haneda. I don't have a problem with 106.7. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, and our estimated zero fuel is 219, so we're 2 tons above that.
75 minutes. So we'll take that.
And our flight forward.
Thank you very much. We'll see you on the airplane.
Thank you. We'll see you on the airplane.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all on board this Turkish Airlines 777-300ER flight from Istanbul to Narita this afternoon. We're just briefly going to run through some of the preparations that we'll go through each time we depart from Istanbul or any other airport for that matter. And I'd like to also say a few words in Turkish for our Turkish viewers as well. Sayın yolcularımız, uçağımıza hoş geldiniz. Bugün sizlere Boeing 777-300ER uçuşunun kalkış hazırlıkları hakkında kısa bilgiler aktarmak istiyoruz. First of all, as you can already see, it's a rainy day out there. We've received our ATIS, our weather report for our departure. We've entered all our relevant data into our electronic flight flag. And today we'll be taking off from my 35 right. As you can all see, it's going to be a wet departure. Our wind is 260 knots, 260 degrees at 9 knots. Our temperature is 12 degrees and our QNH is 1004. That'll approximately give us a takeoff weight of 334.5. And our max takeoff weight will be 325, so we don't have any problem in taking off from here. From here, we've entered our flight plan, all the relevant information into our flight plan. And our flight, as we've already briefed before, will take us approximately 10 hours and 30 minutes. Our initial cruising altitude, we can go up to as further as 34,000 feet, but we'll stay at 32,000 feet, which will be our optimum altitude. That pretty much covers our flight preparations. We're just waiting for our final fuel to come through. We're still refueling at the moment. Our final departure fuel should be around about 106.7 tonnes. So we still need about another 20 tonnes of fuel. Once all that's in, we'll get our load sheet. We'll punch in all the values, which will give us our departure speeds. We'll set the departure speeds and run through our checklists, and hopefully we're ready for departure. Kenan, can we go for the pre-flight checklist, please?
Of course, pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100.
Tested 100%. And tested 100% back there. Flight instruments.
Flight instruments heading 022, 022, 022, and QNH 1004, reading 120 feet.
Cross-checked. Pre-flight checklist is complete.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to, as Captain Turgut mentioned, I pull my seat back for you to see better. We have onboard performance tool, which is the performance portion of the flight back we have. We got all the values in, we punch them in, and once the load sheet comes, we will punch in the final values, which we'll get the optimum flap setting with the selected temperature method. Other than that, we have another feature called terminal charts, which is the normal regular Jepson charts we're used to look at, but everything on this EFB is electronic. For example, here on the bottom, for now, we have the chart clip airports. LTBA is the departure airport. Romeo Juliet Alpha Alpha is Tokyo Narita. It's the destination airport. And later on during the flight, we're going to be putting our alternate airports as we go along to the chart clip, so we can access it whenever we need to. Now, Istanbul, the ones we need is what we do. Actually, I go back. Is we can choose whatever charts we would like here by editing the clip. Here you see pretty much all the charts available for Istanbul Airport. And as we start from the top left, this is all the ground operations. It shows us the briefing, general arrival, departure, the airport, the parking stands. And we choose the ones relevant for the portion of the flight. And then we have the departure SID, which you can see with the arrow going up. And you see all the departure SIDs here, which is 4 pages long. And today we're going to be executing Mopin 1 Zulu, so we picked that one up. And this is the runway. It shows you all the available approaches for all the runways we have in Istanbul. And if we have to come back and land, we have ILS DME 35 left. And also we can choose ILS DME 35 right for the longest runways being. And then we choose complete when we're done. And then we have everything down here on our chart clip. And it's nicely aligns everything itself up for the from the ground till going airborne. So I'll switch this to the day mode since it's daytime, and it's touch pad, so we can see you can see the Istanbul Airport here on this 10-9. We're at 208 at the moment, right here in the corner. If we go page down, you can see it much better. 208 in the corner. And then you'll see later on in the briefing, we're going to be briefing through the charts and the EFB. That's pretty much the electronic flight bag for you.
Okay, now we'll just run through a briefing for our departure today. Today we're located on position 208, which is right on the corner. And we'll push back from here onto Golf, and we'll proceed via Bravo 9 Charlie, Bravo 1 onto runway 35 right, which will be our departure runway for today. Our departure procedures will be, we'll stand the thrust levers up, hit the toggle buttons, and up to 80 knots will abort for any kind of failure, and the procedures for the abort is thrust lever is idle, auto thrust disconnected, speed brake out, and then the reverse is out. Between 80 knots and V1 will only stop for 4 things: any kind of fire, engine failure, wind shear, or the inability of the aircraft to fly. After V1, obviously, we'll continue our departure. There'll be no action until the 400 feet. Our 400 feet, once the aircraft is established in a positive climb, we'll continue. Our acceleration altitude is at 1,500 feet. At 1,500 feet, we'll clean the aircraft up. Once the aircraft is cleaned up, we'll run through the relevant electronic checklist, and if we need to come back in and land as soon as possible, our landing weight is going to be 250 tons. At the moment it's going to be about 325, so we need to dump around about 75 tons of fuel. We'll request to go north to the Black Sea, dump the fuel, then come back in and land. Our engineer procedures for today is climb straight ahead on runway track to Istanbul NDB, left turn to check measure NDB, and then hold, and we'll request further instructions as to what they would like us to do. But if we do need to come back in land emergency where we don't have time to dump fuel, we'll go to the unannounced section of the checklist, run through the checklist, come back in and land onto runway 35 right with the overweight landing checklist. Our normal departure procedures for today, if you can just check it for me, please.
Absolutely.
Morpin 1 Zulu, it'll be straight ahead, heading 354. We need to cross Bravo Alpha 010 at 1,600 feet or above 220 knots, then to Bravo Alpha, to Bravo Kilo Zulu, to Temgor, to Morpin. And then from there we'll join our airways and proceed along our flight plan.
Correct.
That's all I have to say for a briefing today. Is there anything you'd like to add, Kiddo?
No, have a good flight.
And you, Captain Shuriken, anything to add? Thank you very much.
And I'm going to read it off as Captain Turgut will be cross-checking. Okay, sir, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, we have flaps 20, selected temperature of 31 degrees. V1 is 149,
yep.
Rotate is 162, and V2 is 170.
Takeoff data confirm.
LNAV, VNAV check, thank you.
And we have 330 passengers on board and 12.4 tons of cargo, and we can sign it off.
Ishka delivery, good afternoon. Turkish 50 Heavy.
50, go ahead.
Turkish 50 Heavy at stand 208. Information is Romeo, ready copy clearance for Tokyo Narita.
Do you still request 35 right, confirm?
That is affirmative. Request runway 35 right for departure.
50 right, base is clear to destination. My flight and route initially 5,000 feet. After departure, runway heading 35 right, squawk 5341.
Turkish 50 Heavy is clear to destination. Initial climb is 5,000. After departure, runway heading 35 right and squawk 5341.
Confirm 1218 for startup to back.
Ramp point 8 for startup, Turkish 50 Heavy. Good day. All right, Captain. We have initial climb is 5,000. After takeoff, heading of 354. Checked, and 5341 is on the squawk.
Okay, get a pre-flight procedure, please.
Before start procedure.
Send the checklist, please, and then we'll do the request the clearance.
Sounds good. Before start checklist, flight deck door is closed and locked. Passenger signs are on. MCP.
MCP 170354 heading 5,000 set.
Takeoff speeds.
149, 162, 170.
CD pre-flight.
Completed.
Trim.
6.5, 0 and 0.
Tax takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Cockpit ground.
Go
Down
ahead.
to beacon.
Sir, ready for pushback.
Okay, thank you. I request the pushback, please.
Turkish 687, continue via Bravo 8, Delta Golf, Sierra 10.
Copy, Bravo 8, Delta Golf and Sierra 10, Turkish 687.
Yeshker ground, good afternoon. Turkish 50 Heavy at stand 208. Ready for push and start with Romeo.
Turkish 50, pushback approach, runway 05.
Turkish 50, push approved, and we requested runway 35 right for departure.
035, right?
Ground cockpit.
Push approved, Turkish 50 heavy.
Go ahead, sir.
The pushback is clear for runway 35 right.
Okay, sir. Park brake release, runway 35 right, and facing west, starting pushback.
Okay. Parking brake is released.
Okay.
And we'll start the engines when you're ready.
Okay, sir. All engines good and clear. If you want to start the right engine.
Okay. Get him. Start right engine, please.
Starting right engine.
Hello Tango 118, iyi akşamlar.
181, iyi akşamlar. Turkish 2, Whiskey Tango. Number 257.
Whiskey Tango ground, 72, taxi, holding point runway 05, via Echo 5, cross hold before Delta.
Runway 05 via Echo 5, Foxtrot, hold before Delta, Turkish 6372.
7 Zulu Tango, hold before Foxtrot taxiway.
Maintain this frequency, hold before Foxtrot, Turkish 2, Whiskey Tango.
Turkish 7 Juliet Romeo 118, iyi akşamlar.
Ground cockpit.
Go ahead, sir.
Starting left engine.
Right engine normal. Left engine clear. Starting left engine.
Start left, please. Get him.
Starting left engine.
Continue until Foxtrot, Turkish 9 Alpha Victor.
Turkish 8 Zulu Kilo, now follow company.
Oh, pressure rising.
Checked.
Following company, 8 Zulu Kilo.
Turkish 2020, follow Turkish, follow company coming from left side.
Follow company, calling next side, left side, Airbus, Turkish 2020.
Cockpit ground.
Go ahead.
Sir, pushback. Okay. Park brake set, please.
The parking brake is set. Ground cockpit.
Go ahead, sir.
We have two good engines. You may remove the connections. We'll see you Hanson on the right hand side. Thank you. See you next time.
Okay, sir. All engines good and clear. And all connections disconnect. And please wait my signal from right side. Thank you for everything. Have a nice flight.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ground 2.6
All right, got the signal, got the pin.
Thank you. And the flaps 20 before taxi procedures, please.
05 via Bravo 8 Charlie Foxtrot.
Bravo 8, Charlie and Foxtrot 2, holding point runway 05, ready at 3759.
Number 257.
Only 257, go ahead.
And let us
Full right, neutral, full left.
before taxi checks, please.
All right, so recall is TCAS off. Before taxi checklist, NTIC is auto. Recall is checked. Flight controls
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Left side is clear.
Right side is clear. Before taxi check is complete.
Request taxi, please.
Sierra 11, hold for Bravo 8, Turkish, Yang Southern.
Iskar ground, good afternoon again. Turkish 50 heavy, ridge taxi.
Turkish 50 heavy. Good afternoon again. Continue taxi until Charlie.
Continue taxi until Charlie, Turkish 50 heavy.
Taxi to hold short before Charlie.
Left side is clear.
Right side clear. We'll be holding short of Charlie.
Turkish 6 for Yankee, holding short of Bravo 8.
Taxi light up.
6 for Yankee. Left turn.
Continue, Bravo 8 Delta.
As you can see, because of the rain, at the moment we're number 11 for takeoff. And when you take into consideration the time of takeoff between takeoffs and landings, we're hoping to be able within the next 30 minutes. We just had a runway change from 35 right onto 17 right, so we'll have to alter our taxi route and reprogram our computers again.
So probably it's going to be 17 right, correct?
17 right.
Okay. I'll redo the performance takeoff calculation then for 17 right.
Good, it's calling us.
Continue Charlie, hold before Bravo 11, Turkish 50 heavy.
Ground speed,
Let's
okay, right side is clear. Hold short of Bravo 11.
Change is 17 right, continue taxi, Foxtrot, Bravo 1 to hold short 35 right initially. Foxtrot and hold Bravo 1-1, hold short 35 right, speed 677. It's okay, Grant.
Go ahead, sir.
Now, line up 35 right, continue taxi on the runway, vacate via Bravo 5.
35 right, on taxiway, vacate via Bravo 5, Turkish 8 Zulu Kilo.
Think is a bit wish. Ground stop, 026, gate number 103, ready for pushback and start. Roger, I'll call it 20 minutes later due to runway change. Up to 20 minutes after 026.
Cabin ready.
Check the cabin ready.
And the before takeoff checklist, please.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
And the checklist is complete.
On runway 35 right.
So we'll continue all the way up to Bravo 5 and exit the runway from Bravo 5.
Check.
Just number. And okay, we have 17 right with 1805. Do we have then a new departure clearance for us? What in my uniform? What in my uniform, thank you.
Ground Turkish 3 Papa Kilo runway vacated.
Sierra 8.
Follow the company traffic via Delta, go Sierra 8, Turkish 3 Papa Kilo.
Turkish 50, monitor 1181, iyi akşamlar.
Monitor 18-1, Turkish 50 heavy, iyi akşamlar.
Speed 46 hours.
And if you can just check Morphin 1 Zulu, one uniform, sorry.
Ready?
We're straight ahead on to Bravo Alpha 015 at 1400 feet or above, 220 knots. Then right turn 261 to Bravo Alpha 030, 240 knots.
240 knots.
Yep.
Okay, we do 5,000 and above.
Yep.
Execute.
Execute.
Turkish 2 Whiskey Tango.
Then we go to Roblo at 7,000 feet or below.
Set.
Then we go to Somep, Eklep to Ukeba, then to Mopin.
That's a Mopin. And then after Mopin, flight plan to Tevni.
Yes, please,
Execute.
Execute.
All right, sir.
Currently the landing traffic is on runway 23, which is coming in from the other side, and we're taking off from here. So the separation is more than when we're taking off from 35. In that case, the landing traffic is on 05 and taking off on 35. So they're flying in opposite directions, but at the moment we seem to be converging. They're coming in to land and we're taking off. So we have to take into consideration the separation for both runways rather than the single one.
What we changed was, as you might recall, we did the performance calculation. It was for 35 right. Now the runway has changed, so we got 17 right for departure, and the rest of the values is just the wind has changed. So we calculated for the new wind, and we got these values. So what I just did is I put the values in again, and we confirmed on both sides that we have the same values. And now we got another printout for our records, which shows pretty much what you see on the display is on the paper. And now one more thing is the trim is now 6.0, Captain.
Turkish 2 Whiskey Tango runway 17 right, wind 260 degrees, 12 knots, cleared for takeoff, yes sir.
Runway 17 right, cleared for takeoff. İyi akşamlar, iyi çalışmalar Turkish 2 Whiskey Tango.
Runway 257 cross runway 17 left, in seconds, line up runway 17 right.
Cross runway 17 right, in seconds, runway 17 right, honor 257.
Tango Charlie, Charlie Mike Bravo, runway 23, wind 260 degrees, 13 knots, cleared front.
Clear to land, runway 23, Tango Mike Bravo.
Runway 17 right, wind 260 degrees, 16 knots, cleared for takeoff, yes sir.
Taxi lights on, please.
Cleared for takeoff, 17 right, teşekkürler Turkish 8 çalışıyor.
Oraya günler, Taxi 2 November Romeo, runway 23.
Taxi 2 November Romeo, iyi günler. Number 3, continue approach.
Number 3, continue approach.
Turkish 50, cross runway 17 left, in seconds, line up runway 17 right.
Cross runway 17 left in sequence, line up 17 right, Turkish 50 heading.
Taxi lights on the strobe on, please. Dan, can you brief the cabin, please?
Turkish 51, 128, iyi akşamlar.
128, from front of Turkish 51.
Approaching 17 left.
Turkish 2020, runway 17 right, wind 260 degrees, 15 knots, cleared for takeoff, yes sir. Speed bar 677, cross runway 17 left, in seconds, line up runway 17 right.
Cross runway 17 left, in sequence, runway 17 right, teşekkürler.
Runway 17 right identified.
And approach is clear.
Approaching 1.
Got some weather around,
Right.
not too much.
Turkish 3 Mike X-ray 128, iyi akşamlar.
128 Baba, Turkish 3 Mike X-ray.
There's a fair bit of crosswind.
Yep.
Turkish 2 November Romeo, runway 23, wind 260 degrees, 15 knots, cleared front.
Clear to runway 23, Turkish 2 November Romeo.
On runway 17 right.
Turkish 50, runway 17 right, wind 260 degrees, 14 knots, cleared for takeoff, yes sir.
Clear for takeoff, runway 17 right, Turkish 50 heading.
Set takeoff thrust.
Takeoff thrust set.
Checked. Thrust ref.
$80 knots.
Checked. Hold.
Turkish 2 November Romeo, 128, iyi akşamlar.
128 iyi akşamlar.
V1.
Rotate.
Croatia 350, good evening, number 4, continue approach.
Positive rate.
Gear up. LNAV.
Check. Departure, good afternoon. Turkish 50 Heavy out of 700 for 5,000.
Thrust left VNAV speed.
Open climb 7,000 feet, identified.
Open climb 7,000, Turkish 50
Set
Heavy.
7,000 please. 7,000 check. We've got a little bit of weather up ahead, but we're going to be turning pretty soon, so we should be well clear of that.
Check.
And the flaps 5 please.
Flaps 5.
Speed 220 or more until further advice.
Speed 220 or more, Turkish 393.
Flaps 1.
Turkish 50, contact with 126.425 uçuşlar. 50, good day, climb flight level 120.
Climb flight level 120, Turkish 50 Heavy. 120 checked.
And the flaps up please.
6 Papa Romeo, descend flight level 150. Turkish 50, climb flight level 140.
Climb 140.
Climb flight level 140, Turkish 50 Heavy. 140 checked.
Turkish 6 Papa Romeo, descend flight level 140.
Descend level 140, Turkish 6 Papa Romeo.
In the meantime, can we request heading 330 to get away from this please?
Sure. And Istanbul Turkish 50 Heavy, request left heading 330 to avoid wet weather.
You're left heading 330. Any miles will you keep this heading?
About 15 miles when I...
15 miles, Turkish 50 Heavy.
Your report right turn.
Call you clear weather, right turn, Turkish 50 Heavy.
Istanbul Eagle, Express 86 Bravo, descend 240.
Express 86 Bravo, good day, descend flight level 180.
Descend 180, 86 Bravo.
Transition.
And it, transition passing 10.5 now.
Check, cross check.
And 10,000 checks please. Except for the seat belts. Okay, we can take heading 350 now.
And Istanbul Turkish 50 Heavy, request right turn 350.
Turkish aviation approved.
Checked.
Istanbul departure, good afternoon, Everett 3759, climb in 7000.
3759, good day, climb 10,000 feet.
Open climb 10,000 feet.
Speed, VNAV volt.
Check.
And we can report clear of weather.
Istanbul Turkish 50 Heavy, clear of weather.
50 Roger, turn right, proceed now, LCAP. Victor 677, now climb flight level 230.
Climb 330,
Can you request Dr. Mopping please, so we can get away from this weather?
Okay. Istanbul Turkish 50 Heavy, request direct to Mopin to avoid further weather.
Mopin approved.
Direct to Mopin, Turkish 50 Heavy.
Dr. Mopping please.
50, climb flight level
Mopin.
160.
Execute.
Climb flight level 160 to Mopin, Turkish 50 Heavy.
160
checked.
Contact 1193.
193, Turkish 50 Heavy.
Thrust left VNAV speed.
Check. Alright, 160 checked. Mopin.
1758.
It's direct. Turkish 50, good evening, continue climb flight level 310.
Climb and maintain level 310, Turkish 50 Heavy. 310 is checked.
Good evening,
So once again, please, for final.
310 check, thank you very much for that. And seat belts recycle please. Thank you.
This is Roger, 119.
Turkish 6372, continue climb flight level 310.
Continue climb 310. Turkish
Okay, we're out of now, Kerem. Seatbelt off, please. Oh,
Turkish 50 for further contact 128.650, goodbye.
128650, Turkish 50, good day. Ankara, good day, Turkish 50 Heavy, climbing level 310.
Turkish 50, iyi akşamlar. Radar contact, report final.
It will be 310 final for now, Turkish 50 Heavy.
Initially we were on position 209, which is right here at the end of the pen, and the normal departure runways was runway 05 taking off from here, but unfortunately because we were too heavy, we requested to take off from runway 35 right, which we initially cleared, and as we pushed back and got to this position, there was a change in winds, so we had to change onto runway 17 right, where we taxied out of here, joined onto the runway, taxied, we backtracked on the runway all the way up to Bravo 5, then vacated via Bravo 5 on the taxiway Charlie. At this point we're at number 7 for a takeoff sequence, as we've reported before, and it took us approximately a half an hour to get off the ground as we taxied across onto runway 17 right, and we took off, and then as per our departure we did a right turn and intercepted our point, which is Mopin, and now we're back on track. Okay, as we briefed on the ground previously, we had a change in runway from runway 35 right to 17 right. In accordance with that, our also departure change as well. We used our Mach 1 uniform for our departure, and the procedures for that is straight ahead onto Bravo for 015 at 1400 feet at 220 knots. Then it was a right turn 261 to Bravo Alpha 030. Then further out heading at 353, but unfortunately we'll run into some weather conditions there, so we had to divert to heading 330 for about 15 miles until we cleared the weather. Then we continued our right turn directly to the point Mopin, which took us around some build-up around this area here. From Mopin we just joined our normal airways, which took us over northern Turkey into the Black Sea, into Georgia. From there we went into Afghanistan, into Azerbaijan, and you can also see that from our little chart here. Just coming over Turkey here, over the Black Sea into Georgia, into Afghanistan, and now we're around about this area here. We're just approaching position Divno, which is just about here. We're into Kazakhstan's airspace. From here we'll be tracking further along into Kazakhstan, which will take us into Chinese airspace. After flying throughout the entire Chinese airspace, we'll be going into South Korea, which will take us into Japan, and from there we'll make an approach into Tokyo's Narita airport. At this stage, from the weather conditions that we're getting, we're expecting to be landing onto runway 16 right. As we talked about before, it seems to be a very gusty day, windy day, but the conditions might change once we actually get there. We'll keep you up to date once we get there.
As Captain Turgut said, we're still over Kazakhstan airspace. Now I'm going to talk to you about the screens we have ahead of us. The screen on the right side is the primary flight display. It's the most important instrument on the airplane. I'll just go over what these numbers and brackets mean. This is the commanded speed, which you can see also from the CD, selected speed of Mach 0.845. This is what the airplane is trying to fly at. And on the bottom left, you see 0.846. This is our actual Mach number. This is our indicated airspeed. And as you see, the magenta line is the goal, and it's actually flying that. On the top part, it's whatever you see on the MCP. The modes are on the FMA, flight mode enunciator. Speed, LNAV, VNAV path. Speed is the auto throttle. It's actually trying to hold the speed it's commanding to, so it's 0.845. So the auto throttle is holding that Mach number. LNAV is the lateral navigation. It means on the legs page, whatever we have programmed into the legs page, the lateral navigation is flying the route. And then finally we have VNAV path. It's showing the vertical navigation, which you see here as cruise altitude of flight level 330, and it's currently commanded that, and it's flying that.
50 to be control. Good evening, I flight. Maintain flight level 330, next report Arkham.
Maintain 330, next report Arkham, Turkish 50.
Okay. All right, then you see this double cross. It's called the flight director. It's the switch for it is right here. The flight director is on. This is how we fly the airplane manually, and also on the when the airplane is on autopilot. And then, as said before, this is the current altitude, airspeed, and then on the bottom we have small, per se, a navigational display. It shows us the direction and the heading we're flying to. And on the bottom we have the altimeter settings, currently set as standard. Now, as we switch to the navigation display, as we talked about the LNAV right here, this is our flight path. And on the CDU, this is our planned flight route, and here we see it visually. Here on the EFIS control panel, we can select the range. Then we select the navigational display modes, which we usually fly on the map mode. It can be switched if we're doing a non-precision approach, or whenever we have to track a VOR, it can be taken the VOR, or on the approach we can switch it to approach mode, or the plan mode shows us one by one. We can just go through the whole routing and see, like we can go over the actually our approach in Narita. So it comes handy to use the map mode, plan mode, when we're just talking about the approach we're going to be shooting. Switch back to map mode. Okay, here we see on the top left, it's our ground speed, 585 knots. The true airspeed is 484. So this is basically the true airspeed plus the wind. Currently it's a tailwind of 102 knots out of 238 degrees. So it's a tailwind, so if you add these two, you get the ground speed. So it pretty much tells us how fast we're going. This is the heading up mode. Some airplanes have track up. On Turkish Airlines airplanes, we use the heading up mode, and it's currently 064 on the heading. This is our next active waypoint, which is Abdon. You can also see it on the top right side. This is the prediction, the time we're going to be arriving to Abdon, 1851.3 Zulu, which is in 6 minutes, and also how many nautical miles we have left to our next waypoint. Currently, we fly the pilot monitoring, which on this flight is myself. We fly on the terrain mode. What you see here, it's all the terrain around us, and currently you just see the heights, which is from 800 to 1400 feet. Other than that, this is the actual navigational performance, which is 0.07. This means we're flying really accurately, and this is the required navigational performance, which is 4 miles. We're flying very accurately due to GPS and also the ADRU system we have on the airplane, which we will talk later on. Also on the EFIS control panel, we can show lots of information. The weather, it shows from terrain to the weather display. If we have any weather ahead of us, now I will be able to see it. And the controls for the weather radar, it's actually right here. It's a two separate systems per se. We can set it for right side and left side independently. Currently it's on auto mode. We can switch it to manual mode, and then you'll see here weather dash manual, and currently it's scanning level 330, the flight level we're flying at, the altitude we're flying at. And then with this knob we can actually go up and down. We can scan all the levels and see whether we got any weather ahead or not. But we usually, other than that, we just keep it on the auto mode. Other than that, we have we can see stations, but for that we have to zoom in whether there are any stations around us, which we're not on the close to any approach, so we won't see anything. Then we have waypoints, which currently it's pretty much all the waypoints we see ahead, so nothing new there. The airport window, it's usually open, which you will see here. These are all the airports around us, and you will see we put on our fixed page Urgenç and Astana. These are our en route alternates, which are on the fixed page, Utnu and Astana. And you see the 435 nautical mile circle around it. That means we're within 1 hour of flying distance to these en route alternates if we needed to. And then another button here is the data. Once selected, it shows us the predicted time we're going to be reaching these waypoints. It's another way of seeing that. Or we can go on the legs page and hit route data, which we would see all the estimated time of arrivals at those waypoints on the CDU as well. So that's pretty much the navigational display.
Turkish 50, stand by.
Standing by, Turkish 50.
Turkish 50, after Delta Kilo Oscar, request higher level from Beijing control.
Okay, we'll request again after Delta Kilo Oscar, Turkish 50.
Turkish 50, control.
Turkish 50, go ahead.
Turkish 50, contact Beijing control 134.25, good day.
134.25, Turkish 50, good day. Beijing Control, good morning. Turkish 50, maintaining 10,100 meters over Delta Kilo Oscar, request 10,700 meters.
Turkish 50, Beijing, stand by, I will call you back.
Standing by, Turkish 50.
Good morning once again. We're 6 hours and 47 minutes into the flight. We have another 3.5 hours to go. We're currently over Chinese airspace at over Delta Kilo Oscar, and we're approximately 1 hour away from Beijing, right here. And after Beijing, our alternate will be Seoul Incheon, and after that, finally, the Japan Sea and into Japan.
Well, currently we're in Chinese airspace, and ever since China's started implementing the RVSM rule, they have a system where we go off track, and normally it's 3 miles to the right of track, so that we don't come in contact with the other aircraft. But currently we're 4 miles right of track, as we can see on the instrument panel here. At the moment, normally we have our Econ cruise, which is Mach decimal 83. It's actually 82 at the moment, but we're flying at 86 to make up some of the lost time on the ground. Approximately we taxied for about 50 minutes because the runway changed, and we made this up by normally flight plan taxis through Nukti on Bravo Alpha 215 into Charlie Hotel Whiskey to Yankee Bravo Lima to Delta Kilo Oscar. But we requested the Victor 16 route, which is a northern route, which saves us about 7 or 8 minutes and about approximately, you know, 1.5 tons to 2 tons of fuel. So we were able to increase our speed to make up some of the lost time, and this way we managed to pull back our landing time by about 11 minutes.
Mongolia 223, contact Beijing 124.55 today. 124.55 Mongolia 223 today. Version 2540 Beijing.
Beijing Control, Turkish 50, if possible, after Hotel Uniform Romeo, direct Panda.
Turkish 50 negative, after Hotel Uniform Romeo, then Radix, line route.
Roger, Turkish 50, Hotel Uniform Romeo, then Radix.
Lufthansa 728, radar contact, maintain present level, and proceed offset 3 miles, right of track. Turkish 50, Beijing.
Go ahead.
Turkish 50, contact Beijing 120.35 today.
12035, Turkish 50, good day.
11835再见，北海6583。
Okay, we're just coming up to the top of the descent now. We've put in all our weather reports and our relevant data into our electronic flight bag. At the moment, the latest ATIS information gives us a wind of 200 degrees at 18 knots, temperature 18 degrees. The QNH is 2966 with a landing weight of 239 tons. We require about 7,600 feet of runway in Narita, which is, we have a lot more than that available in Narita. We're going to be using auto brake 3 for the landing. And the procedures we're going to be using today is it's a temporary procedure. It's the Venus North arrivals. The procedures are we're coming through Cheeks. If you can just check that for me, please, Kerem. Cheeks into Sierra Alpha Echo, into Lakes, which we need to cross at 6,000 feet or above. And
Turkish 50, please.
Turkish 50, clear of traffic.
Thank you, Turkish 50.
QNH 779, new QNH 2960.
And from Lakes, we'll be transitioning on to runway 16 right, ILS approach Yankee. The procedure is 21-3-0, Our localizer frequency is 111.5. Our inbound course is 156, and our minimum is 330. And if we're visual and if the conditions are safe, we'll continue to land. Otherwise, we'll execute a go-around. And the procedures for the go-around is we'll climb on a heading of 156 to 800 feet. Then we'll turn further right, climbing to 6,000 feet on heading 191. Then we'll proceed to establish on radial 161 from Tango Yankee Echo on the outbound via Oscar Juliet Charlie VOR 069er. We'll proceed to Cockpit and hold the 6,000 feet, and we'll contact Tokyo Control for further instructions. After we land, we're expecting to vacate the runway with these strong winds. We should be able to vacate via Alpha 6. If unable, we'll vacate via Alpha 8, and we'll proceed via Charlie onto Sierra 3 Gateway and into our parking gate, which is number 34. Our minimum diversion fuel is 10,800 due to the strong winds that were predicted from departure. We did take on a fair bit of extra fuel. At landing, we should have approximately 20.8 tons of fuel on board, so we'll have more than enough to get to our alternates, which is Haneda and Osaka, but we'll try to use Haneda as our first alternate as it's closer. Are there any questions, Kevin? That's all I have to say.
Sounds good.
Captain Sheridan, any questions? And a descent checklist, please.
Descent checklist.
Nippon 584, contact Tokyo Control, 133.
Check's complete. Thank you.
Check's complete.
Tokyo 1337, Nippon 584.
Turkish 50, descend and maintain, flight level 310.
Descend and maintain flight level 310, Turkish 50.
310.
310 checked.
Turkish 50, descend and maintain, flight level 180.
Descend and maintain flight level 180, and we'll be requesting runway 16 right due to performance, Turkish 50.
Turkish 50, stand by for coordination.
Standing by.
Tokyo Control, Japan Air 1884, leaving flight level 288.
180 check.
270, now
Check.
10 miles right space.
Turkish 50, fly heading 010, vector direct Yankee, runway 16 right for approach course. Descend maintain 10,000.
Left heading 010, descend and maintain 10,000 for ILS Yankee 16 right approach, Turkish 50.
And ILS Yankee, we have heading select 010, descending 10,000 check.
Check. Altimeters.
Altimeters 2963, passing 13.2.
Runway is right.
Now.
Approach check is complete.
Thank you, sir.
Cabin ready.
Checked. Now we're just approaching the final stages of our approach. The winds, as we've discussed before, it's a lot less than what we expected. But because of the low pressure system that's coming through right now, there's a fair bit of wind chill on final approach. There's been reports of 747-400 reporting plus minus 15 knots below 1,000 feet. So it should make for an interesting approach into Narita for you guys.
Turkish 50, turn left heading 310.
Left heading 310, Turkish 50.
Turkish 50, turn left heading 280.
Left heading 280, Turkish 50. 280 checked.
Asana 102, 3 miles from Birdie, turn left heading 200, clear for Yankee runway 16 left approach.
Left heading 200, clear ADC Yankee runway 16 left approach, Asana 102.
Japan 476, turn right heading 230.
Right, heading 230, independent 476.
Turkish 50, turn left heading 200, 4 miles from Patch, clear for Yankee runway 16 right approach.
Okay, left heading 200. Clear for the ILS Yankee 16 right approach, Turkish 50.
Japan 476,
lights, light,
6000.
Light slope is live.
Independent 476.
And Tokyo approach, Turkish 50, establish on ILS Yankee 16 right.
Turkish 50, thank you. Contact Narita Tower 118.2.
1182, Turkish 50, good day.
Okay.
6,000 meters approach altitude is set.
Check. Narita Tower, good morning, Turkish 50 on the ILS Yankee 16 right, 8 miles.
Turkish 50, Narita Tower, runway 16 right, wind 210 at 16, continue approach.
Continue approach, Turkish 50 heavy.
And landing gear down, flaps 20 please.
Flaps 20 and gear down.
Kilometric 2, contact Tokyo departure.
Departure, kilometric.
Eva 195, wind 210 at 18, maximum 26, runway 16 right, period for takeoff.
And a flaps 30 please.
19 right, 195.
All Nippon 2141, hold short runway 16 right, inbound approaching 5 mile final. Hold short runway 16 right, all Nippon 2141.
Flaps 30.
And the landing check is please.
Landing check is complete.
Check is complete.
Turkish 50, Eva 330, departing runway 16 right, clear land, wind 210 at 18, maximum 32.
16 right, clear to land, Turkish 50.
Land 3.
Check. Stabilized.
Continue approach. Wow. The wind is 50 knots. It's out of limits at the moment. We'll continue. We'll see how we go.
Check.
Manual flight. Flight directors.
Eva 195, contact Tokyo departure.
Eva 195, Narita.
Narita.
Wind shear.
Wind shear.
Go around.
Let's go around. Toga, flaps 20.
Give
Positive rate. Gear up. Narita Tower, Turkish 50. We had wind shear alert going around 16 right.
Roger.
Flaps. All right, good. We're good.
Yep.
Turkish 50, maintain 6,000, excuse me, approach course.
We'll maintain 6,000, Turkish 50.
And can you set the lateral direction, please?
Tony Point 2141, runway 16 right.
Got heading cell.
Runway 16 right, line up on the way, Tony Point 2141.
We've got
Turkish
just
50, how much the wind is here?
plus or minus 15 knots.
Plus or minus 15 knots, and we had wind shear alert, Turkish 50.
It is short final about 400 feet.
Affirm.
That's affirmative. Turkish
And the flaps 5, please.
Taxi Fido, thank you. Contact departure 124.2.
124.2, Turkish 50.
Autopilot is engaged.
Check.
263.
Tokyo departure, good day, Turkish 50, maintaining 6,000, heading 090.
Taxi 50, Tokyo approach, radar, turn left heading 040.
Left heading 040, Turkish 50. You want me to get in
Yes, please.
another Yankee 16 right?
Yankee 16 right, yes please, thank you.
Execute.
Execute.
And I'll do Conan intersection, all right?
Yes please.
Execute.
Thank you. And I have controls and communication. If you can just have a word to the passengers.
Okay.
About the wind shear. We'll just come back in for another approach. Thank you.
Tekrar iyi günler sayın yolcularımız. Ben ekip pilot Kerem Koray. Tokyo'daki yoğun rüzgar nedeniyle pas geçmemiz gerekti. Yaklaşık 10 dakika içerisinde tekrar inişimizi gerçekleştireceğiz. Hepinize iyi inişler dilerim. Ladies and gentlemen, due to heavy wind conditions in Tokyo, we had to execute a missed approach, and due to wind shear alerts, we will be executing another approach in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you for your understanding.
I have radio.
So we're just going to run through the same approach, ILS Yankee, as briefed before. We'll just come back in and try to get in this time.
Taxi 50, turn left heading 310.
Left heading 310, Turkish 50. 310 is checked. And Turkish 50, request winds at both runways, 16 right and 16 left, please.
Yes, sir. Runway 16 right side, 210 degrees, 18 knots, maximum 34, minimum 7. Runway 16 left side, 200 degrees, 26 knots, maximum 36, minimum 18.
16 right.
Okay, we'll take 16 right, Turkish 50.
Taxi 50, Roger.
Turkish 50, turn left heading 200, 6 months on path. Clear for ILS Yankee, runway 16 right approach.
Left heading 200, and clear for ILS Yankee 16 right approach, Turkish 50. 200 checked.
Left close the glow slope is on.
Check.
Well, Kerem, just to refresh, if we need to do a go around again, it'll be flaps 20 again.
Yep.
And flaps 5, please.
1182, Turkish 50, good day.
And with flaps 20, landing gear up, and we'll hit the LNAV, so we'll get some lateral deviation, and we'll go into a holding pattern and decide what we're going to do.
Sounds good.
And we'll speak to the company whether we want to go to Haneda or we want to go to Osaka.
Sounds good.
Lights up captured, Mr. Approach 6000. Is set.
Thank you. Narita Tower, good day, Turkish 50. On the ILS Yankee 16 right, 8 miles.
Standby, brake right, IBEX.
Landing gear down, flaps 20.
IBEX 31, contact Tokyo departure 124.2.
Roger, control departure 1242.
2500.
Continue approach, Turkish 50. All right, the gear's down, flaps 20.
Malaysian 89er, wind 21017, maximum 24, runway 16 right.
Do you want to leave auto brake at 4 or 3?
3 is enough.
Back to 3.
Turkish 50, wind shear report, plus minus 15 knots at or below 500 feet. 5 minutes ago, reported by Boeing 777.
Turkish 50, and that was us.
Turkish 50, traffic Boeing 777 departing runway 16 right. Clear to land, wind 210 at 16, maximum 30.
16 right, clear to land, Turkish 50.
And flaps 30, please.
Flaps 30.
All Nippon 12 Narita Tower, hold short of runway 16 right, traffic on final. Malaysian 89er, contact Tokyo departure.
Seems stabilized for now.
Turn around.
And flaps 30, landing checklist.
Check is complete.
Check is complete.
Approaching 16 right. Wind check 220 at 19, maximum 30.
Manual flight.
Check, flight director.
500.
Check.
Approaching minimums.
Check.
Minimums.
Continue to land.
Check.
100. 50. 40. 30.
All Nippon 12, runway 16 right, line up and wait.
Wiper 12, runway 16 right, line up and wait.
Speed breakup.
Manual brake.
Check 60 knots. Alpha 8 is to the left.
Turkish 50, contact ground 121.905.
121.905, Turkish 50. Good day.
Okay.
Narita 1182, Japan Air 10.
Turn to ground, get a Turkish 50 on Whiskey 11, coming, approaching Sierra 3 gateway.
Turkish 50, Narita ramp. Taxi via Sierra 3 gateway, spot 34.
Okay, into Sierra 3 gateway, spot 34, Turkish 50.
Can you start the APU, please, kiddo?
Left turn into Sierra 3, and 34 will be into that alley.
Narita ramp, standby pushback due to traffic, around 5 minutes.
Roger, standby, Singapore 67.
And clear on the right side, right turn.
APU is running.
As you guys witnessed, we were coming on an approach and we got a wind shear warning, and as my company and Boeing procedures, we had to execute a go-around, which we did. Then we came back in for another approach, and as we were coming in for the approach, we were informed by the tower that there was a microburst over runway 16 right, which was the approach runway. At that
Hello,
point,
Cockpit Grant.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. We set the chokes in position.
Checks in position, releasing parking brake.
Roger. And would you please tell me remaining fuel?
18.3.
10.3?
18.3.
I'd like to confirm 18.3.
Affirm.
Right, thank you, sir. And engine oil quantity indication, please.
Can have a look at the on. Just bring it up. 22.
Right, 22 and 22?
Both 22.
Right, thank you, sir. And please, how about ship condition?
It's all good.
Good, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a nice stay.
Thank you.
And we connected the extra power.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And APU off, please. Okay, good. I do apologise for that. We're just speaking to the ground crew. We checked the winds on both of them. 16 right was more favourable winds as it was less, and there was less of a chance of a wind shear onto 16 right. So we opted to continue with 16 right, and as you saw, it was a very bumpy ride in, but thankfully we got in uneventful. And if we did do a go around, as it was the second go around, we would have had to go to a holding position, speak to the company, see where they wanted us, as we're two alternates today, Haneda and Osaka. Most likely it would have been Haneda, but being in the same vicinity, it probably would have been the same kind of weather conditions. But thankfully there was no need for that. We came back in uneventfully, and we'll have to see again another Turkish Airlines flight.